What is up, Philly sports fans? We are back for another episode of JNS Philly Sports Stop. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rychel. With that, Justin Fiorillio, he's doing a little media work in Philly with Dr. J and the mayor and all this fun stuff. So he's sure going to have some good content that he always puts out. So get ready, looking out for that. Moose is here. Steph Soto's here. We're going to have some fun talking some Philly sports and everything in between. So how's everyone feeling today? 420. Everyone's ready to have fun on get this Monday week started off here.
Yeah, I don't. 420. It's just another day, man. I don't celebrate that.
Oh, I'm just. I mean, it's 420. Like, who cares? You mentioned.
I mean, I did celebrate. I didn't. I mean, I just partake in an ice cream sundae. So I celebrated the munchies.
Oh, well, that's every day I do that. I like to have an ice cream sundae every day.
Yeah, I just use it as an excuse today. Every other day, I'm just.
Well, no, I mean, if you look at it, like places, sometimes they do little sales on that, so you can grab something. I mean, I would
get a sugar, get a sugar high.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna have some fun stuff to talk about, some goofy stuff to talk about, talk a little draft, have a little fun as we're getting close to the draft. But I did want to bring this one thing up. All right, so we already know Philly's crazy, Philly's tough, and all this other stuff, but Philly's got some messed up stuff going on, right? So umpire that upped the game last Thursday, he was attacked,
right,
and assaulted. These guys are catching hell from us Philly fans, with the up and down calls that we tend to get here, but that's just another level of crazy on our fans. I mean, obviously they weren't fans and they didn't know this guy's an umpire, but the stuff that happens here that we get attached to is crazy at times.
Sure, they didn't know he was an umpire, right?
Yeah, exactly. They had to have known.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah,
it's fun to think. It's fun to think they knew.
I'm telling you, he's not paying attention to what's going on in the city. So I'm gonna go with he didn't. But either way, man, we gotta make sure, like, our umpires, our referees, etc. They don't get caught up in nonsense like that.
Yeah,
they might screw us. They might screw us down the road. Who knows?
It goes to show, like, in anything, even being an umpire, there's a risk to your job. Like, people are not going to like things, and like look at our coach who got his house egged.
I don't think anyone deserves to get robbed. It doesn't matter if it's in Philadelphia or another city. It's just
I know that. It's just people look at our coach that got his house egged. People just are. I don't think anyone deserves anything bad. But
yeah, a Cowboys fan in the area, though. I mean, whatever. I don't care what happens to them. But no, I mean, you know what I mean. I don't want no life-threatening thing. But
yeah, I don't think anyone should have to worry about stuff like that. But did have some crazy news about one of our Super Bowl champions. That first team that we had, UFC Super Bowl 52 Super Bowl winner. Alshon Jeffery, which is arrested for insurance fraud. So
yeah, good figure that. All that money he has. I tell you.
I mean, it's not like he was in the boom of wide receiver money that they get now, but like he was
more than me.
That you don't know how much he's directly involved in that, but I mean, it's not a fun situation to get caught in,
No.
These guys crack me up. Some of the shit they get into, man.
Sometimes it's just people that are running the business, and you make a bad investment here, and you wind up in crazy situations like that.
Right.
Hopefully he doesn't do any time for it, but obviously has to pay the sins for either something he did directly or somebody did in his name. So
there was a story like that, like not sports related, but it was like Jersey Shore. Mike Sorrentino had to go to federal prison because of his taxes. and he didn't directly do it. His tax person never filed taxes for many, many years. So it was like tax evasion. But so he had to pay the price still, even though he wasn't aware. So
Yeah,
he could be that. That makes sense.
Well, we'll see what comes of it. I mean, he could face up to 5 years. We'll see what's what, but tough situation. We're pulling for for this AJ to have a good ending, because obviously the big news today was the Adam Schefter report, right? When basically states that we're still open to potentially trading him, and that per his league sources, that as we come to the that June 1st deadline, that trade talks will again intensify between the Patriots and the Eagles for a potential trade for AJ Brown. That's where they're saying that he's likely to go. Now, after what we've heard over the last few weeks, and do you feel that we should kind of overlook that this is where it's been getting driven for 9 months? And
I don't know.
And the other side of that is, do you feel AJ's more responsible for the poor performance that they had, the lack of a deeper run, by the way he's played all last season? It wasn't just him dropping passes in big games, because there's a couple games where you could sit there and say we called out Ricky Waters for less, right?
For who? For what?
We called out Ricky Waters for doing less, right?
Yeah, alligator arms.
Yeah, but I mean, after that play, he was 100% in after
Yeah.
our response. But here's the thing: AJ's been there's games where he dropped balls or gave up on balls, and it's just like you put your hands up. And the other reason why obviously the amount of drops he had in that wild card game is just beyond me, right? It wasn't just one play AJ played bad in that game. He didn't show up in that game, right?
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah. I
talking
mean,
about,
maybe.
and you're not talking about just that one game, right? I just feel like,
But as a whole last season, because
The whole season. Yeah.
yeah,
after
it
the
wasn't
first few
just him. I
games,
don't think.
you got to remember, after I think it was like the first 3 or 4 weeks, that basically Devontae Smith was getting the majority of the looks, right?
Oh
And it
yeah.
was when that all that started creeping into him wanting to be part of the offense, and his little soundbite moment and all that. I still felt like when that happened, that their whole identity changed. So, do
Yeah.
you think that it's one of those situations where they're between all that's going on, you're getting subpar performances from him in that nature, that you could put more of I guess, the ceiling of what last year's team? I mean, obviously, we already know the offensive line was playing bad, so it's not
Yeah.
going to sit there and say that
Yeah.
it's all on AJ. But I think you could have added a few more wins and possibly a little bit more of a deeper run in the playoffs if he wasn't 100% locked in, given his all. Not just with
Yeah.
drops up until this last season was completely uncharacteristic of AJ Brown. Let's be honest with that.
Yeah. I
So
think maybe.
if the question is, do we think he is to blame for the season being
Oh
bad? I
no.
don't think he's
No.
individually to
Totally.
blame at all. As even though
Oh,
you
like
guys know
I
how I
said, this
feel
is where I
about
said,
him.
like,
Yeah.
if we had 100% more locked in AJ, we
Yeah.
win a few more games in the regular season, and potentially we get a little bit further in the playoffs. Obviously, I still think they should have won the wild card game if he was locked in. He had too many drops in that game. I think
I
he at
agree.
least had 3, if not 4, drops in that game that were big, that were crucial.
Yep.
And that's
I
not the
agree.
only time he's had situations like that. There's plays that we all seen it, like it was like he was on like he gives up on a route, and balls are getting thrown down the field, and it's just like he pulled up on the route. And there's times he was looked at. There was times where he was demanding the ball. We had a stretch where we lost like a handful of games, and AJ was getting his balls. You didn't hear anything about that, but the team was losing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wasn't 100%, but you're right. That's the game that makes me upset. You guys already know how I feel about that game, and um, but the talks of like the trading from today, I feel like honestly, people are just trying to shake up some news with our team because over the weekend I've been asked so many times about how I feel about the draft, and our team is pretty solid. I think there's really not much to like speak on. Howie is just making his little like he's strategically planning. So people are just trying to shake some stuff up and they got to put some drama in there for our team. It's like
I
let's
think
make some noise.
I think this is probably what we known all along that it was probably June 1st. My thing is at this point in time, knowing what all the other stuff that you know that's going around, I would just hope it's anyone but New England at this point in time. I mean, at the end of the day, whoever offers you the best package gets them. I don't think knowing what was going on behind the scenes, knowing how everything's been the narrative's been pushed this off season, I don't think it should. I don't think you should not deal with New England at all costs because that's where he wants to
I
be.
heard New England. Didn't you hear that too? That's what that whole thing was about.
That's what you hear
That's
today
what they're
from Adam
saying.
Schefter. That
Yeah.
we're
You know
just
what? At this point,
that June 1st deadline.
in time, look, they brought in a lot of receivers in the offseason. I think Devontae is going to be your number one guy.
And here's the thing that Steph was just talking about is the draft. We'll get into that right now because does that change your projection? Like if you know you're going to trade AJ Brown, if there's a playmaker still there when you're drafting at 23, are you taking a wide receiver?
No,
Looking at wide receiver, I got the list right here. I got the list of all the guys they brought in for workouts, right? And there's there's at least 4 wide receivers they brought in for workouts.
I don't see them taking in the first round a wide receiver. They need to start getting some offensive linemen in there because you got Lane Johnson.
Well, as you say that, right? As you say that, because I'll pull that back up. Is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They brought in 9 offensive linemen out of the potential 30 they can bring in for workouts.
Yeah. They need to go in that direction because Lane Johnson's. You don't know how much longer he has, and then you got Cam Jurgens who. Then you got look, Landon was hurt. Landon's a damn good guy, but I'm looking at the offensive lines. I'm looking at what Lane Johnson basically. You need to start getting guys in there.
What about you, Steph? You think we're going to draft anyone off that list?
I think I'm with Moose, but I feel like we're gonna stay. I feel like it's not. I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna be anything major. I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like Howie doesn't make moves. I feel like he's gonna surprise us all with something like just something out of pocket.
If he does a wide receiver at that 23rd pick, then it's utterly stupid because they I mean seriously. They need you got to get offensive. Everything's based on the lines, and this line with Lane Johnson, and especially the way they played last year, you got to start. You're at that point where you got to start plugging some young blood in there to learn it, so they're ready to step in. That's why the Eagles been successful with their lines there all these years. They know how to replenish it.
I think if there's a playmaker at safety, they take him there. I think it's going to be a mixture of it could be an offensive lineman, but if there's a playmaker there, not just at the safety position or like, if you get something at the tight end or a wide receiver that falls like they have been the last few years, right?
What about like a cornerback?
Yeah.
I think when we signed the guy from Seattle, took cornerback off the board.
Yeah, that's
oh yeah,
pretty much
him.
Yeah.
So you got three of the best corners in national. I think each one of those guys, Q, Coop, and and the new guy in there, I think you get put at least in the top 15 cornerbacks in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need corner. Where that's check.
I would
check
just
that off the
then
list.
O-line would be it, Moose. I feel like you're on target with
Yeah,
those.
that's what
Put 9 guys in, right? And
Yeah.
that's almost half of the list that you see there.
Mm-hmm.
They only brought in four wide receivers, right?
Yeah.
So they're looking at it like I said, they're saying. I think if there's a guy like if their guy at tight end falls, I think that's something that could happen. Now, Steph was also talking about how he always makes a move, and that was part of the thing that I put into this. Now, there might be a guy we like or a position we like them to go after, but do you see Howie either trading up to kind of get a guy that he wants, or do you see him potentially trading back and adding some more picks that they can do? Maybe they trade back and get a player out of somebody, potentially edge rusher, so you don't have to draft the guy. Because I still think edge is kind of the only thing you really still need help with.
We need another one. Yeah, you need another one here.
So, like, for argument's sake, they say, they make a trade and get that kid out of Minnesota, right? And get Minnesota to kind of trade them their 2 and then give up their one of their edge rushers. I think that's something you could potentially see, whether it be Minnesota or some other team.
Yeah, I don't think they're trading up. I tell you, they're either staying where they're at or going down to get some picks. I'll see them going up. I really do.
I just feel like Howie's not Howie's not going to do anything flashy. He's more strategic, right? So it's not like, I feel like he's strategically thinking. So again, Moose is probably right. Like
4133 is back in the comments saying, trade up or trade out. The next year's draft is fire.
Yeah, it is actually. I'm excited for next year's.
But here's the thing: if you could trade out of it and also grab a guy that can help your defense or can help your offense or help your offensive line, or give you a quality guy at safety, if gives you a quality starter, and trading out of it is something that I could see Howie doing.
Yeah, you're not going to. They're not trading up.
Unloading, trading back, but also unloading one of their thirds, and then getting another second or third round pick out of them for the following year.
Yeah, they're not. I know one thing: they're not going up.
Pick for next year's draft as well. That a lot of people are already high on. A lot of people have already said this draft isn't as deep as some seasons passes. You're still going to get guys that you're going to get hit on, but those lower round guys are not as good as I guess people are claiming that they have been in the past. We'll see how
as good as last year.
We'll see how the pundits play out
or next year.
I just think they always say that when you don't have a deep quarterback class. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Every year that I do that, they across the board say, no, this is a terrible draft class. But then sometimes you wind up getting 5 or 10 guys that wind up being 10-year starters, veteran stars,
right.
Whatever. So it's a crapshoot sometimes. But if you're really asking me, I think they trade back and they get a quality starter to help their defense or something like that.
Yeah, I'd get with that. Yeah, they're definitely not going up. I'll be shocked.
I think if you ask me, they're not drafting at 23, regardless if it's up or out.
Yeah.
That's just my personal take on it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I kind of been telling people. It's just like there's really no, like you just said, or whoever commented. I mean, next season's draft, I'm excited for. I want to have a party for it, like a live or something, because that's going to be exciting.
Where's that at next year?
I used to do draft parties, but sometimes unless you can get like a core group of people that can hop on and off that are like content creators of those teams, etc., that you can work out something that they hop home and either before or after their pick to kind of talk on things, and
Yeah.
it's
Well,
kind of
we got a bit to work on it, right? We got a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
So.
As we grow, we get to be able to do some things like that. But
Right.
doing a draft party ain't hard to do when you have platforms like this. So everyone does them. Everyone does them. So I mean, something we'll work out as we're moving forward. And maybe not even doing just the draft, but see if we can do overall watch parties and have some fun during the games as well. At least the ones we don't attend.
Yeah.
I get it. Not. I'm in the parking lot.
I did want to bring this one up. This is a little off topic for you guys. I came across this list. I wanted to get everyone's thought on it. So there's 4 different lists here. We're gonna pick our tier that we like the best of Eagles veterans and Hall of Famers and such like that, right? Okay. So on tier 1, right, we got Hurts, Brian Westbrook, Terrell Owens, Jeremy Maclin, and Zach Ertz, right? Tier 2, you got Michael Vick, Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, Jason Avant, and Dallas Goedert. Your third tier is McNabb, Barkley, Brown, Mitchell, and Selleck. The bottom tier is Cunningham, McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, and Trey Burton as your 4 picks there. So Moose, I'm gonna start this one off on you, right? What tier are you picking?
I'm picking the last one you said because you got McCoy and Deshaun Jackson and Cunningham.
You're going forward with Scrambling Randall on top of it?
Yeah, but and then you got him, and then you got Deshaun Jackson. I mean, and you got
you got Brent Selleck as your tight end too.
Yes, Brent Selleck, and then Trey Burton wasn't. Hey, man, he threw that pass with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that one.
So you're going forward. What about you, Steph?
Which one is Dallas on?
Dallas Goedert is on tier 2 with Michael Vick, Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, and Jason Avant.
I think I'll go with that one.
So you're over in tier 2?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm definitely going McNabb, Barkley, AJ Brown, Freddie Mitchell, and Brent Selleck. I'm going. You're going 3. So Jalen's the one that gets left off here. It's a rough.
How about
list.
that?
It's not an easy list to go through.
How about that?
No, I just look at Shady and Deshaun Jackson. Them 2 right there. I go, hey.
Yeah,
So,
but
and you got Randall Scrambling.
List is top tier though. I'm gonna say that right now because you got Scrambling Randall, Shady, Deshaun Jackson, the aforementioned Alshon Jeffrey, and Trey Burton.
Yeah,
but
definitely. Imagine Randall scrambling and chucking it to Deshaun. And I just imagine
you got McNabb with. Well, you've gotten at it, like, even though, we talk about how bad AJ played last year, and he still had 1,000 yards receiving at the end of the day. But then Freddie and Brent Selleck, I don't know. You give.
Freddie, he had some moments, but to me, he was not consistent. Where I mean, the 4th and 26, that was fantastic. I was there at that game, and I thought, here we go, we're done, and then boom, So, but he wasn't consistent enough. There was a lot of games where he, dropped the ball, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it wasn't consistent enough. But
only ones I knew that were bad with their drops were was it Todd Pinkston? I thought Todd Pinkston was the worst.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
It wasn't just the lights one either. When Yeah.
Oh God, if I ever hear, I remember when I heard that excuse, and I was through the roof. Was that the Carolina game, the championship game, where he said that shit?
I forget when it was, but it was
I
like
think it was that game. Yeah, I was at that game, and that was a horrible. Talk about a bad game to be at.
yeah.
I mean, Jake Delhomme. I mean, what the hell? You're gonna let him beat you at home? Yeah, NFC Championship game. Yeah. I'll tell you. And right after the Tampa year at the vet, that was the next year. That was the two back-to-back worst ways to end the season.
And
I'll tell you.
4331 said said James Thrash was the dropper, not
James Trash. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was a dropper. Who was the other guy? Oh God, who was the other guy?
No, the third one it was Thrash and Pinkston for the longest time.
Oh yeah, but there was another guy that used to drop it all the time. What the hell? Nate Brown? Was it Nate Brown? Was it him?
Yeah, so
He sucked too. They had some sucky wide receivers they didn't hit on. I'll tell you. That wasn't their strong suit.
Freddie was a beast. He was a beast, but he was more like your third receiver, like how Jason Avant was.
Yeah. I like Jason Avant. He was a nice third guy.
But he was sure-handed. He may not have gotten you deep down the field and all that, but he was the sure-handed one.
Well, the name of the game is move that ball. You want to be ahead of them chains or close to them chains. You never want to be behind them chains. And he dump off a 5-yard pass, he'll catch it. Keep you going, I liked him.
And
still do. He's a nice guy.
Minus of the drop. He had one drop his whole career like that was unforgivable.
Well, of course. Yeah, he did. But I was pissed, but he's a nice guy. So.
That's funny.
Hey, who plays tonight? Do my favorite Sixers?
Name and just call him Trash is so Philly.
James Trash, James Trash.
We know his name. It's
yeah,
James Trash, but he's absolutely that's how he's known in Philly. It's James Trash. It's just the way it goes.
Oh yeah, James Trash. Trash and Pinkston.
I think we're absolutely biased in this next one. Another one I'm throwing a zinger in at you guys. But what do you think the best throwback uniform is in the NFL? And I think it's only one of two questions: the Tampa Bay creamsicle jerseys, right, and the Eagles Kelly Green. I think it's the only real option on the throwback jerseys of which one is the best. I want you both to take your Philly bias out of this and truly sit there and say, do you think the Kelly Green is the better throwback over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers creamsicle throwback? I think it's the only real option. If you want to if someone in the comments, in the chats, or whoever winds up coming across this, if you feel that there's a better one, please let me know, because I'm not sitting there saying it's only the Eagles in this conversation. I'm trying to make sure we put that being said.
Let me take the Eagles out of it, because Kelly Green's my favorite color, especially
Kelly Green.
So I'm going to remove that out of the equation and add one in. The Denver Broncos, the Orange Crush, the orange with the D on it, with the stallion, or the Bronco coming out.
So you guys are all going to agree. You're unbiasedly saying the Eagles ones are.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to.
The creamsicle also has green in it, though, right? Like I'm picturing it in my head.
No, I think of the Seattle throwbacks, because that's what I was going to say. 4133 saying Eagles are number one, the Seahawks throwbacks are number two, and then Tampa Bay's number three.
Tampa's number two. Tampa's two, man. They got that pirate guy with the feather on his head, the helmet. Remember? I like that. That's pretty cool.
So
the Buccaneer guy.
The '80s Rams were great. Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's when these throwbacks are 2-2, if you really think about it. I do like Moose putting Denver in there because the Orange Crush was special. Before
Yeah, and I thought the D with the horse, the Bronco, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, Kelly Green for sure. I mean, I have Kelly Green like Vans and all types of clothes, like just even that I wear without Eagles stuff on it. They're just green. So I'd have to
I'm
say Kelly
Irish, so I have a
Green.
lot of green. Everything's green.
Yeah,
Look, I mean, look, that's not an Eagles hat, but it's Kelly Green with the
yeah.
shamrock on it. Hey, might be Boston Celtics hat. That's I was wearing it the other night. And they said, "What are you Celtics fan?" I said, "No, I'm Irish." But they're going to, but the Celtics are going to smoke the Sixers anyway. They don't have a
Oh
chance in
man.
hell, unfortunately. I mean, well, not unfortunately, they deserve it. I've been telling. Well, I don't want to get off topic, Steve. You know.
That's all right. You're allowed to go down a rabbit hole every once in a while.
Yeah. Well, they're about to. I don't know when they play. When they play tomorrow night, so they'll be down 0-2. Flyers. I'm telling you, the Flyers are the hot team in
So
town.
you brought up the Sixers. I'm going to bring up another point, and I want to get your comment on this because I already know how you feel about this organization. I already know how you feel about the current regime there, right? But my thing is when we see nonsense like this courtside, right? I already talked about this with you already, but now you see Josh Harris with the other guy that's on the the Epstein list is Howard Lutnick, and they were
Yeah.
both courtside at the Celtics game, and I already seen multiple other Philly content creators, Philly podcast guys make videos, and they're not happy with this, and I already know how you feel about this current ownership there,
Oh
and
yeah.
and you want Josh Harris gone. The fact that he's on the Epstein list and he's not being run out of this town already as bad as he's been as an owner, as
I
bad
don't know
as
what's wrong with people.
listen, I'll take the Colangelos back at this point in time. Give me the burner accounts. Give me
I'll
the
tell you,
burner
man.
accounts where they were arguing with fans over being on an Epstein list because that's two polar different opposites. I
Yeah.
agree, it's dysfunction down at the complex. I'm not going to sit there and say it's not been dysfunction for the last 20 years, right? But
Yeah, I
this
mean,
is a whole nother level. I'll take the burner accounts over being courtside with other suspected pedophiles.
yeah. You know what? This guy, I'll
Getting
run him
all
out of town. I'll run him out of town. I was on a microphone. I was on a mic.
on the podcast without getting it on.
I mean, I was on a mic yesterday, and we were on a surround sound speaker system. I'm in the parking lot. Wells Fargo Center's right behind me, and I ripped that dude house. I ripped him. I said, I hope to God he happened to be walking out to his car out of his stupid office, which he probably isn't because his office is probably over in Camden or who knows. Oh, no, he was up in Boston. That's my fault. That's right. So he couldn't hear me. But
listen,
after
seeing this Moose, we have to run him out of town, no matter where this playoff series goes. Josh Harris needs to no longer.
Yeah, he has to go. He had him and Daryl Morey. They can both hop on a bus, take Fat Boy and Beam with you, go to McDonald's. I don't know. Tell him you're going to McDonald's. Trick him on the bus. Get the frick out of here. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'm so pissed off. I wish they didn't make the playoffs because now they're going to get embarrassed by our rival up in Boston. I mean, we haven't beat Boston since the 80s in the damn playoffs. And sure as hell ain't doing it this year. I'm sick and tired of it. And you know what? I don't even know why I get worked up about it. It's a joke. You know? I'll tell you right now. The Flyers will win a championship before the Sixers do. The Flyers, damn, we're going to go up 2-0 probably. We could probably get to the second round.
See, even 41-30, we won't watch the Sixers. Between the ownership and Joel, it just makes him sick. All right, listen. I'm not going to say Joel hasn't been a disappointment. Injury-wise, he is the most unlucky player I've ever seen in professional sports. It's beyond me. he is absolutely injury cursed. We already know this. But this season, you can't put that on him. Can't put that on him this season.
Well,
they load managed them, all that. Look, we get that aspect. Get in an epidectomy right as you're about to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
he can't control that. I'll say it like this: Embiid has the luck of somebody being in a shooting, right, and he winds up getting hit with shrapnel because that's his luck.
Just don't stand near him.
Luck on a basketball court.
Well, maybe he got a voodoo curse back. Where did he grow up at? Maybe there's somebody did voodoo on him when
he grew up.
Or maybe he got. They do voodoo there, right? Maybe he got cursed. Maybe there's somebody there with a voodoo doll poking him with a stick and throwing him in the air so he can jump up and fall down. I don't know. He is unlucky.
Man.
He is very unlucky. If there's a lightning storm, don't be standing next to him. I'll tell you that right now.
You're not wrong there, Moose. Joel Embiid has that type of luck, and I don't think can anyone name another athlete that's been more attached to injury than Joel Embiid at this point.
I'm sure there's some, but I mean, this guy was supposed to be take us to the promised land. Hell, he was injured when we drafted him. He didn't play for 2 freaking years. I mean,
So what about you, Steph? I know we've been going off on this one. What do you feel? You think Joel Embiid's curse, and hearing that Joshua Harris, any owner of any sports franchise that is attached to the Epstein list needs to be removed from their place of power, correct?
I agree. I do agree, but honestly, I know Moose says he doesn't know. Well, he doesn't know why he gets worked up, and it's a joke. And I know it wasn't about specifically this; it was about a team. But it's unfortunate because I feel like anyone involved with the Epstein files needs to be dealt with. But I don't see anything happening.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we're seeing with Mike Vrabel,
that
guy. Investigation for him. They only sought out crisis counselors and try to stop the New York Times for articles coming out. But nothing.
Well, you know what? If AJ goes to that,
that's why I sit there and say, because how this is being dealt with, it's questioning everything that reporter had to do with that man for a period of time.
Exactly.
And that's why I say that the NFL should have some type of investigation going. Wasn't that because the way the market's being pushed one way or another, and we've already went over last week how many stories that she ran that later turned out to be untrue.
Did she get fired?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
She got fired from both of her. She got fired from both of her jobs. So if she got fired from both of her jobs, don't you think that Mike Vrabel and the New England Patriots need to be investigated a little bit about players?
Yeah, just a little, because if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So he can do whatever he wants, right? I mean, look, it's personal, right? Who cares what they're doing? I don't care if they go out in the lake and freaking do the hokey pokey. I don't give a shit. But don't talk business, and don't use that business as a story, because that's corrupt. That's corrosion, not corrosion. You know what I'm talking about. I'm getting worked up over this shit. So I'm tired of these people thinking they can do whatever they want. You know what I mean?
You got a new friend in the chat stuff.
Yeah, who does, me?
Whoever makes the best offer for AJ. I hope it is that way, Eddie. I hope when AJ gets traded, it's the best offer. That you're not just looking at the New England Patriots. That every one of those 31 other teams are getting a phone call like, "Hey, what are you going to give me for AJ Brown?" It don't matter.
Yeah,
listen, I don't even care if it's Dallas. If you get picks, and a player, let's send them there. I don't care.
Let's not get that excited. I wouldn't do that. But I mean,
that's if you're trading for pick. If you're trading for Pickens, right? You're trading.
I would do that. I would do that.
So you do a player swap for Pickens, and then you guys either swap first and swap first or second. But this is what I'm saying. When I think that he's making this trade, that it would be where you're getting a player of value back. And
right.
That's what I'm sitting there saying when I look at this trade. That's what I want from it, because A.J. Brown is a top 5 wide receiver.
Right.
If you look at the first 5, if you look at his 5 years here in Philadelphia, it could be matched with anyone. T.O., Carmichael, Quick, all of them guys. He's better than all of them. His numbers were. You had multiple years where you had either at or right about 10 touchdowns with him. Even on a down season, he had 7. I think he still had 7 last year.
Yeah. Look, I wish they could work it out.
If you're getting more than a handful of touchdowns out of your wide receiver in a given year, it's not like he had a bad year that of some guys' career last year.
Yeah, right. His bad year was some jabroni's good year.
With a quote unquote dysfunctional Jalen Hurts. So
his bad year was better than James Travis's good year. You know, I mean, you know.
As we're in reference to that, Steph's right. Anyone on the list, I don't care who you are. What they've been sitting there saying, oh, well, if we lock everyone up, the whole system fails. Well, then it needs to fail for a few weeks or months or however it needs to fail to get these people out of these situations. Owners, I don't care. Sports figures, I don't care. Anyone involved in it that had wrongdoing, not just being named in it because you were involved in a situation or involved somebody you knew or were close to. I mean, actually be involved in the worst parts of that list. Mm-hmm. There's no question.
Do we really think that Josh Harris gives a shit that the Sixers got smoked yesterday? Do you think he really gives a shit? Because he knows he's getting 2 games at least at home.
So Eddie Prater's basically he's saying his top 3, his top wide receivers in the NFL right now are Jefferson, Chase, and Lamb. Lamb is in my opinion, he's a slot receiver. He's like the superstar level of Deebo Samuel. I'll say it like that. I mean, now one thing I thought was interesting is, like, we're sitting there, we seen those reports a few weeks ago that Jalen Hurts had problems with the Eagles coaching staff, and he's uncoachable, he's on this, that, and the third. Well, why is he at Temple this week with Sean Loeffler, who's no longer with the team right now? He's working with Temple, and they were also with another quarterback developmental guru getting ready for the season. I know people have a lot to say about Jalen, but one, it's cool that he's sitting there working with some of those kids down there at Temple, but also that he's still. I think it proves even more that the dysfunction that is coming from this team was from Nick Sirianni's relationship with our offensive coordinator last season.
Yeah.
They were friends. They were buddies. I've kind of felt like he got the brought-in job, and because of that type of situation, I think made whatever anyone was saying fall on deaf ears, because I think we all kind of felt that the offense was kind of what it was last season, right? But it was because the direction that Nick Sirianni would stare it in through his offensive coordinator, and they failed again.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens
this year.
That he's not in the top 5, Eddie. I think A.J. Brown, no matter who you have the argument with, he's no longer than the 5th best receiver in the NFL right now. That being said, I think he's worth a top 40 pick in any year's draft. And a starter caliber player. So I think when they shop around, I think the one that is going to make Howie Roseman pull the trigger is you can get away with maybe a 2nd round pick, but you're sending me a quality player that I can use on my team this season.
Right.
I think that's the only way it doesn't involve it doesn't involve a first.
Right.
I think if it's straight A.J. Brown alone and you get no player, it has to be a 1st and no later than a 3rd.
Yeah,
that's what that Denver just got for Jalen Waddle, right? And we could all agree Jalen Waddle wasn't a top 15 receiver last season or even the season before. Maybe the season before that he was.
Yeah, they need.
If Jalen Waddle gets a first and a third, then what does a top 5 receiver get you? Because that's what AJ Brown is. You can talk about he has this degenerative knee problems, but I think is utter nonsense because I don't think he had any major knee injuries while he was here in Philadelphia the last 5
No, he didn't. Yeah, he hasn't.
So his problems with soft tissue was hamstrings.
Hamstring, yeah, hamstring, not knees, hamstring. So
even Eddie said, Waddle was top 15. I don't think he ever was top 10, and that's what I'm saying. If Jalen Waddle went for a first and third, that's the very minimum. You're gonna
AJ should command more than that. I'll tell you that.
I told you, Steph. You got somebody loving you in the chat.
Hi.
Hi.
They're asking if you have an Instagram. If you can't see that.
Oh, I can't. I'm blind, but I do have an Instagram. You have a pen and paper?
The old school way, pen and paper. Break out the notepad.
Oh man!
Break out the paper.
You just shout it out and tell them what it is.
Hey, the kid's probably like, "What's a pen? What's a piece of paper?"
So I just gave away my age.
Oh, of course not. Be proud of Gen X. Be proud.
Oh, I am.
That's right. Just because these kids don't know what a pen is. Here's a pen. Here's a napkin. You got a napkin, kid? Write it down on that. That's what we used to do.
So
ball it up, put it in our pocket, and wash it.
On your hand.
Hold the line on AJ. We get a first plus. Yeah, we definitely get a first plus. But I'll say it this way: if a team is offered a second and a starter player, it happens. It happens. All he said this offseason is that we don't give away star players, right? So we know it's going to be for a first, but if you're saying you get, somebody like that's drafting in the top 50 of next season in the draft, right? And that you can think that's where their trajectory is. Tell them you don't trade them for a second and somebody. And somebody, some Pro Bowl, All Pro level type player in a position of need, regardless if it's a it's another wide receiver, like I said, an edge rusher, whatever. Hell, let's say you make a trade with the Cleveland Browns, right? You send AJ to Cleveland. You trade for somebody like a Myles Garrett. You get a second round draft pick. You give up a first round draft pick this year, something like that, or the coming season, whatever. It's something that could happen.
Yeah, something to Cleveland.
I just feel like Howie again knows what he's doing, and I don't think he's not gonna let AJ go for
a bag of peanuts.
Peanuts.
It's gonna make sense. Whatever it is, whatever move happens, it's gonna make sense.
And I did have some good Sixer news for you. I forgot about that news. As much
good Sixer news. What's good Sixer news? They sold the team.
I wish. We were talking about it a couple weeks before, but VJ Edgecombe is a finalist for Rookie of the Year. So let me now knowing he's a finalist, the season's over. Is VJ Edgecombe your Rookie of the Year? You think there's somebody that had a bigger impact on their team?
He most definitely is Rookie of the Year. Most definitely.
What about you, Steph? I know the Sixers ain't your team like that, but I think it's safe to say, you've been around us Philly guy long enough. Do you feel that VJ Edgecombe should be this year's NBA Rookie of the Year, or is there somebody else you think better deserving of it, like a Cooper Flag or something like that?
No, I think that he deserves it. I do. I think they made a right choice, right pick. I mean, and that's good news because it's like, this season hasn't been great. So at least, like you said, that is good news. Something good came out of it.
Yeah. Well, him and Maxey, like I said, my fear is they're going to get wasted. So, look, once the Sixers get swept here in a couple of days, because they're going to get swept, they need to. I'm telling you, if they run it back, we see the same shit next year.
Flag too.
I'm telling you. And the Phillies, I'm sorry, I know we're not. They're starting to get in Sixers territory with me.
Well, listen. We're not gonna. We're right now. The Phillies are the ugly girl in the corner at the party, and we don't want to talk about them right now. Okay.
Go Dodgers.
Well, I know. All I know is one thing. These guys on the Phillies couldn't hit a car if they were speeding down the highway in traffic, let alone a baseball.
But yeah, no, their problem has been left-handers. They've always been left-handers, and I don't know if it's going to get any better anytime soon. It really isn't. But I did want to talk about Edgecombe. I think he will be. I know everyone's big on Cooper Flag. I get it. But
that's because he's a big.
Nobody thought he was the right guy. Not going in the draft, not at the draft. But the difference he's made on this team's not a playoff team if VJ Edgecombe isn't the guy they drafted this season.
Oh, absolutely.
He played a lot more than he should have because of injuries. Because you know you have Embiid going in and out. You got George going in and out. He got a lot of time this year, and we watch him become. You know, he's not a killer yet, but I think as we look at Rookie of the Year, talking about team impact, and you're talking about the best rookie from that class and how they performed with that team this season. And, you know, you may have guys that had better single nights than him. This guy had 50 points, etc. I get that. But I like Cooper Flag and I liked him coming in the draft. I was hoping that he would fall to the Sixers, and it didn't. But I'm pleasantly surprised what I got from VJ Edgecombe. I think you take him off this season and they draft anyone else, we're not talking about a playoff team right now. We're talking about a team that didn't make the playoffs.
No, we're not talking about a playoff team that's going to be swept in the first round.
That's what has to be your thought.
Right.
It can't be anything else but that. So
yeah, give it to him. He deserves it. Like I said, they wouldn't be playing these 4 extra games if it wasn't for him. They already would have been sitting at home. So he gave us 4 more games to play. Well, 3 more games. Wait a minute. It's a 7-game series.
Let's talk about something fun in Philadelphia right now. And we talked about this last week. When the Flyers are playing great hockey, it's always what the heartbeat of the city is on. And I don't think that's any different, especially after you've seen in Game 1.
Oh yeah, man! I'm telling you,
especially after you've seen in Game 1, because you couldn't ask for a better effort from a bunch of guys, a bunch of young kids, right? Moose, this rivalry is already back in full effect. I sent this to Steph. I wanted to show it to you now, right? But before the puck even dropped for Game 1, there had been 2 fights in the crowds, 5 fan injections, and this is 20 minutes before the puck even dropped in the crowd.
Yeah.
20 minutes before the puck had even been dropped. So let's just say that this rivalry is back in full effect. And for different reasons, because I don't know if you've seen it, but the play of one Sidney Crosby, the penalty is being deemed controversial, and the league is going to look into, you know, how Sidney was performing, and he was doing his normal stuff. I don't know what it is. For some reason, we love Alexander Ovechkin, right?
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say that you know, Ovi is a special level of respect type of guy. No matter how many times he beat us and make us look bad and things of that nature. But is Sidney Crosby not the most hated star in the NHL at this point in time?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not because like you hate on him because he's winner and he's a great hockey player, right? It's because of the other antics.
He's a dickhead.
I think that you know, that's why I think a lot of us here in Philadelphia don't like it. Is because anytime it gets physical, he gets chippy, he gets cheap, he gets dirty.
Yeah, he gets dirty. He's a dirty player. He's a great player. Blah 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 blah. He's a dirtbag. He's an asshole. He's a dickhead. Sorry about my language. I didn't get a violation on stinking TikTok. But here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. He's chippy. You're right, Steve. He's been, my God, how long has he been playing? 100 years? Christ, seems like he's been playing forever.
Yeah, but and he's on point with this. Listen, I think it's safe to say it doesn't matter which team you root for. No one likes Sidney Crosby.
Oh, he's an a-hole.
And that you could say it was that, Eddie. I think it's also some of the hits that the Flyers were putting on them early too kind of took them out of game one. And then you had some great goaltender by V back there. He had a great night behind the pipes. And then the other part of that big performance was the kid, man. At 19 years old, I don't even think you realize this. Martone, what he's done. They had him the 14 shots, but before that last little flurry there at the end of the third period.
Oh yeah. I love this team, man. I mean, they're young and we're better than Pittsburgh. Actually, I think we had more points or more wins than Pittsburgh. So I believe we did actually had more wins than Pittsburgh. Which I don't know why hockey's hockey, but listen, they look great. I can't wait for game 2. Actually, that should be going on right now. I should have been having that on now, but we'll see what after tonight's game what it looks like if it's 1-1 if they go up 2-0. Oh yeah. What time is it now? 7:45. All right.
So this team is they are playing an older Penguin team. But I just think that having getting that first goal, getting that momentum, getting Martone involved, getting the kids involved, I think is going. I already said I think they would at least get past the Penguins. I think they will upset the Penguins. 5 games, 6 games, 7 games, whatever it takes.
Well, we win tonight. We're coming home, so looking pretty good. Go up 2-0 on somebody, and you're not the home team. Home ice, Well, you'll get the home ice. You beat them tonight, then you are home ice.
Yep.
So let's go Flyers. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's great.
Yeah, I think
whatever happens.
But I do agree with you. I think the Sixers in trouble. They could be swept. They could be lucky if they even win a game.
Yeah, this is going 4 games. I mean, I don't see that.
What about you, Steph? You excited about either hockey playoffs or NBA playoffs at this point in time?
Well, NBA, we won the first game. We play again tomorrow. I don't think.
Do you have overall excitement for your Lakers right now, or no?
I can't stand LeBron.
LeBron James. Let me tell you, LeBron James.
I can't
is
do
exactly
it.
that.
I
no offense, but that guy, man. I tell you.
All right, now I just sat there and said it. Now let me ask you, Moose, who do you hate more? Is it Sidney Crosby or is it LeBron James?
That's a good question.
LeBron James. I think everyone hates LeBron James.
LeBron.
My thing is listen. I think if you ask which is the bigger superstar in their given sport, I think LeBron James. He's probably a top 5 all time generational player, right?
LeBron, yeah, not better than MJ.
Listen, he's not. I'll never say that just because I think MJ is just overall better. But it's also how LeBron plays the game. He plays it like Sidney Crosby too.
Yeah. He's a crybaby too. If shit doesn't go his way,
and that's the same way what we say about Crosby. But I think Crosby's more dangerous because if you got LeBron mad and wanted to fight, he'd actually stand his ground and throw punches with you. But Sidney's the type of guy that'll cross check you from behind and they go run and hide behind his players.
Oh yeah, well he's a cow.
So I think in that sense, I think that's why us as Philadelphia fans, I think people would say they would hate Sidney Crosby over hating LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, look, see the thing is, the hate's back for Crosby, but the Flyers haven't done. They've been on the downside for so long, but now, like you said, we're back, and we're back against them, and we're back against him. So it all comes back to patrician. The hate for this god comes back. You know what I mean? So, and it feels good. It feels good to have that. You know?
Eddie,
It gets you
Eddie says he got the Flyers in 5. So,
yeah.
Hey, listen. And he's with you on the on LeBron James hate.
Yeah.
I think he's the. I think Sydney's probably the worst as how he goes about playing his sport, because it's worse than LeBron's flops, what he does, right?
Yeah.
But I just think that LeBron has the better PR team, so he's not hated as much. But that's also because I don't think Sidney Crosby's a top 5 player of all time in his sport. I think no matter what we sit there and say, that like he is top 5 because of all those accolades that he. So
he's built super teams too. He pretty much dictates. That's the problem with basketball nowadays. Anyway, with the NBA, these guys dictate.
Can you imagine
shit.
when Shaq joined the NBA, and then all before when Michael came back, and instead of bringing in Dennis Rodman, they went and brought in Shaquille O'Neal. Michael would have won 10 championships.
Right. Yeah, if that's the way it was, but that
No, but they didn't think they could do that, and I think that's why a lot of people also I just think of the way, not only the way LeBron plays, but like his overall attitude is why fans like Stephanie have kind of tuned him out, just because it's like you're exhausted with him at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean the NBA product just sucks now. It's not 3-point. I mean, who cares if a guy makes 60 attempts and scores 10 off 3-pointers? You know what I mean? Hell, he scored 10 threes.
Bird would have mentally destroyed LaFleur. I don't disagree with you, because Prime Bird mentally destroyed a lot of players out of the NBA. I'm serious. If LeBron James played with somebody like Larry Bird, he would have ran him off the team.
Oh, God, yeah. Or Rick Mahorn or freaking Bill Laimbeer. Bill Laimbeer would have planted him on his ass.
Yeah, so
I mean a damn thing he could have did about it.
I do think the athletes are overall better, and you maybe have a better overall guys playing, but that's because that's the way basketball was played then. It's played in a different way. It was played. Yeah. It was played on the inside back then, while it's played on the outside now.
Yeah, I think it sucks now. I think the product sucks, but that's because I'm OG, and that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
We were talking about FIFA soccer, right? Apparently, Lincoln Financial Field put an end to that, and they said there will be tailgating allowed at Lincoln Financial Field.
I saw that
for the World Cup. So I know we were talking about what they were making New York do. We don't let that fly here in Philadelphia. So
we're tailgate for anything, dude. You know that.
Yeah, they probably ran that through the people here in Philadelphia. Like, listen, we need those extra that extra money from the parking sales, man.
Right. Because you'll have people tailgate that aren't even going into the game. They're just going to have an extraordinary, extravagant tailgate. Yeah.
So we're going to wrap this one up. I know Steph's got somewhere to go. And,
that Monday Night Raw.
I didn't want to go too crazy in that. Steph, he was asking for your for your Instagram handle again in there in the chat.
Oh, I mean, okay, so it's s.n like net.m like music .23_31.
All right,
what was that? I didn't get it. Hold on, I couldn't write fast enough.
Before we get off here.
Yeah. Well, I had fun. Thank you so much for having me.
It's always a pleasure. Like I said, Justin was doing his thing tonight. I still want to let us all get their talk in and have some fun there. Moose,
I'm a little revved up. I don't know why I'm so revved up. I'm in a good mood. Maybe I'm tired. I don't know.
Let's do it again.
Always. Well, we're always going to have fun here on Monday. But another episode of the J&S Philly Sports Stop. Without the J today, we got Steph and Moose holding it down. We might be back again for more shenanigans again next week. But for now, another one in the books, and we will catch you guys on the rebounds, my friends. Peace on out.
Peace out.
Hey.